When we become state citizen, we are automatically sovereign citizens. Nope. Um, so Eva, that's kind of a naive question. You sound like you may be new into this, and I get it. The federal government is unfortunately classifying people that really don't understand the law about being a state citizen, and they're trying different things. And unfortunately, they'll drive around cars without tags on them, or expired tags, or they'll have a license in their wallet and it's expired, or they'll have a suspended license, or the point being, they have created a two words that mean nothing in law anywhere. Like you can't find a definition anywhere for the word sovereign citizen, but they've trained every law enforcement officer that it exists, and that there's people out there that believe they don't have to listen to federal authority, or whatever. And the reality is, if they were properly registered, or have an account as a state citizen and done their paperwork, the federal government wouldn't have any authority over them. There might be a perceived authority, but it would be quickly diminished upon delivery of paperwork to whatever individuals trying to exert themselves. Bottom line, do they know? Are they going to press forward? Whatever. But bottom line is, those police officers that are trained in that think that um, exists, that sovereign citizen exists, and that they are just somebody trying to get out of obeying the law. And it's kind of a truthful statement, you know. A state citizen is just somebody who wants to be out of the jurisdiction of the United States, recognizes the law of God and the common law, and the common law of man, and to respect one another. I wouldn't be driving down the road at 90 miles an hour. I wouldn't be, doing things that are outside of the scope of what man's law would require me to do anyway. Um, so I don't want to get pulled over or harassed or have any issues. And I think a lot of times when you drive 80 miles an hour, you're going to get yourself in an accident or in some kind of issue. And they have thought some of this stuff through. Not all of it. Not all of it's cool. Not all of it's fair. Not all of it's real. Meaning what the DMV has created from a statute standpoint. But the reality is the code of the DMV sometimes helps people. Um, I know I don't want to be on the streets with a drunk driver. I know it's a purely profit gain for them, but it's a truthful statement. Somebody that's impaired in their driving, I don't want to be driving on the streets with. And those are things that we didn't have 200 years ago. So those are things that are kind of important to think about today. Now, is it, and we're getting off the topic here, but those words, sovereign citizen, you don't ever want to admit to being a sovereign citizen, ever. That is not you. If you were a state citizen, you know, I would ask, what are you talking about? What is that? I'm a citizen of the greatest nation on earth, the United States of America. That's how I'd respond. I would never claim sovereignty or a sovereign citizen. I cannot walk on water. I do know that the sovereignty of the king passes to the state, which means the state citizen. In law, go look at the definition of state. So, do I claim sovereignty? No, no. I just got hurt. I got a scratch on the back of my leg. I obviously can't walk on water. I am definitely not God. I do create some things sometimes, but I respect my father enough to think that the sovereignty of him, and I was created in his image, and he does live within me. So there's an element of sovereignty, yes. But do I make these claims? And no, not necessarily. So I'm just very careful with the words that I use, especially when dealing with law enforcement. I do not want to admit to being something that I don't know what they're talking about. And that's why they ask you when you're coming over the border, are you a U.S. citizen? Are you a U.S. citizen? That's why they check you 100 miles in the border. Are you a U.S. citizen? It's like um, I just ask the question back, are you a U.S. citizen? Am I free to go? Because pull over to the secretary. No, thank you. I watch these guys and these Gestapo style stops and what they're trying to do to cause issues for people. Do I want to participate in making their life harder? No, but I do not want to allow for them to continue this operation of treating people the way that they do. And so I do want to educate law enforcement. And there has been times where I've been on the side of the road educating law enforcement. But I speak to them in a tone and fashion that's very respectable. Sometimes they just clobber you with disrespect, clobber you with F-bombs, clobber you with, whatever, and calling you a sovereign citizen. You know, I have to be very respectful and be very kind to them no matter what, because I want to get out of there. And if I want to sue that guy later, I will. But I want to get out of there right then and there. And I do not want to be detained, and I do not want to go through all that stuff. And then these are very real things, that those words sovereign citizen are not good. It's not something you want to ever make a claim to, and just be very careful of that. So, second part of your question is, what if we become a state citizen yet and want to take profits from crypto tax free with Caleb and Brown? And only because it's not going through you, it's going through a private foundation. Yes. The answer is we can help you on all that stuff.